If you're enjoying my YouTube content, I highly recommend you check out Sportsgamerz.com. This is where I post all my premium Madden 22 content. I have ebooks, offensive and defensive schemes, plus I do 4 to 6 premium tips every week in the Madden Vault. This content is available for both current and next gen, so no matter what system you play on, we got you guys covered. Our best offer yet is the Sportsgamerz Madden VIP membership. This gives you access to the entire site, every tip, every ebook, plus the meta reports for only $19.99. I'll post a link to it in the description and the comments. Make sure to check it out for the best tips and content available at the best price anywhere. YouTube, what's up? It's Duke back here from Sportsgamerz.com, and we got a very special video for you guys today. By request, I'm going to break down how to shut down this bunch tight end offense with a great coverage defense. So a lot of people have asked me about this. Y'all know PA boot over still is one of the most utilized plays on this year's game. There's different ways to run this play. There's one play touchdowns. There's just the rollout abusing. There's the flats. There's the deep post. It's really, really good, but we're going to show you my preferred way to slow this down. Now, this is something that you can do no matter what defensive playbook you guys use. We just need to find a cover 4 quarters defense, which you can find that in 3-5 wide, the regular 3-5 wills or 2-4-5 normals. Really any of those formations will have a cover 4 quarters. Now, in 3-5 wide, it's actually going to be called the cover 4 show 2. If you run the 2-4-5 or the 3-5 will, it actually will be called cover 4 quarters. Now, one of the things about these formations that's nice is if you don't have good linebackers, you can sub safeties in the game at the linebacker position. We're just going to leave it as is here for the Bucks. When running this defense, the coaching adjustments you will want to make, you will want to go ahead and turn your auto flip on, because you will want that nickel corner to be on the 3 receiver side of the offensive formation. And zone drops need to be on default, because if you turn those on, that'll affect the way the defense matches, which will kind of mess up the whole defense to begin with. So again, the play is going to be the cover 4 quarters, and I'm going to break down how exactly this can be used to stop this bunch tight end. So PA boot over is still the most utilized play by far. I mean, there are different ways people look to run this, but sometimes people now are just going ahead and putting their tight end still on a delay fade, even though he's basically streaking on a delay fade. Sometimes they're blocking him and putting the running back out of the backfield on a curl route. Sometimes people are doing a little setup with the wheel to just bomb it for a touchdown. I mean, there's other things you have to do to bomb it for a touchdown too. But in any case, the way I like to defend this play is, or this offense really, is going to be the same regardless. So first of all, when playing against this offense, I always like to make sure that I move this middle linebacker back to the middle of the field. I don't want to give it away the way this aligns that we could be in quarters, and it's just better running that way. But I always control the safety that's on the tight end side of the formation. The reason for this is simple. First of all, I will make an adjustment to help against the bomb, and that is nice. But at the same time, this play can bomb you almost no matter what, even if you make the right adjustments. So you'll need to be on the safety to prevent that. And also, if they don't run the bomb setup, but they run the crossing route setup, you can help on that crossing route as well, playing on the safety. And the 3-rec, against this offense, honestly, it's better to just leave him, because then he'll be able to use the things underneath, like maybe if they put the curl to the running back out there. So that's better to leave him as the CPU. So we're going to always use the safety on the side of the tight end. Now, as far as other adjustments we make, I like to shade underneath to give myself hard flats. That's just because sometimes these quarter flats can get tricked depending upon route combo, so I don't want that to happen. Hard flats will make sure they play in the flat. I like to put the safety that's on the bunch side of the formation into an inside third. This will help out a lot against the bomb setups that they want to use, but still, it will be something that you'll have to watch with this user on the safety on the tight end side as well. Now, I did go ahead and put him in the inside third. It's just not showing because it's the play art glitch that's on this year's game, unfortunately. And you can press, but the one thing about pressing is you really need to be careful when you press in this defense. Unless you have fast corners, you can get beat deep. So personally, I just leave it as is. Now, guys, I do want to remind you, if you're enjoying my content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Drop us a like on the video, comment. All that good stuff does help me out a ton as a content creator. I would really like to get 300 likes on this video. If we could do that, we'll post another fire defensive tip for you guys. But here's how our defense looks, and let's kind of run through it a few times to show you guys what it will look like against different variations of this play. So, as you guys can see here, my main job is to help out on the crossing route. That is the route that does tend to get open a good bit. You guys can see here that the tight end delayed fade actually got ran over. Otherwise, it would have essentially been a streak, but that normally doesn't happen. But basically, guys, you can see that the 3 receiver hook, he's going to play underneath the crosser, the shallow cross, until it gets to the hard flat. And we have to play the crosser. We have to help out on it, because even though it's getting matched, it does get open a lot, which is why playing on the backside safety does help. And you guys can see here what I mean, that this safety does help take away this post. Now, like I said, there are ways to where that guy can sometimes still get open, which is why you need to watch out for that. Now, another thing I want you to be aware of is, like, we're rushing our D-line here, so make sure you do have some good pass rushers in. Now, this is another thing people do, is just go ahead and block the tight end to try to roll out so that they can either hit the curl or the crosser. Now, normally they delay the curl, but I can't do this because you need an ability to do that. But it's same thing, though. We're still going to go ahead and just move that linebacker a little bit inside, shade underneath to get our hard flats on the field, and put the safety on the bunch side into an inside third. Again, not really worried about any of the underneath routes here. Mainly what I'm watching for is to see if I need to go help out on that crosser or the post. And then here, you guys see I do need to help out on the crosser, and I'm able to take that away. So the crosser is pretty much always going to be your responsibility as a user when you're in this defense, guys. And you guys can see there's nothing open here. They are completely bagged. The flats are taken away. The linebacker and the 3 rec hook, the 3 receiver hook, he's taking away that underneath running back. We're taking away the post with our adjustments to the left safety. And even though, again, this guy is getting matched, he's just not getting matched well, so I have to take that away as my user. You guys can see here, I'm right there. If they want to throw it, if they want to force that in there, that's going to be a pick. And at the end of the day, rushing 4 from these types of formations, if you have a good pass rush this year, you're going to get pressure. So they're not going to have all day long to just want to just go crazy with it. Now, I do want to show you guys what would happen if you did not user the way I'm talking about. So let's just say that, you know, you did your adjustments, but you did not user the crossing route. I want you guys to notice that is definitely a problem if you don't user the crossing route, because what's going to end up happening if you don't do that and they can get out of the pocket is most likely it's going to get that separation. So that's why we need to user that to make sure that that does not happen. Now, this is just overall good defense too, because at the end of the day, if they want to do other things like run the ball or throw maybe some corners and flats, this still stops all that. So like if they want to run inside zone, just check down to the run. You guys can see, I mean, you know, they're not going to get anything. This is good run defense. We're in cover 4 match, which is a good run defense in general. And playing on a safety just makes it even easier for you to kind of come down in the box with your user, do a little gap shoot, as you guys can see here. I just ran down, clicked off, and, you know, I could have made the tackle, but actually my CPU was able to make the tackle for me before I even needed to. Another thing people will do, like I said, is some corners and some flats and basic stuff like that. Like a play like X spot is actually pretty effective, but, you know, we can defend that very well. Again, we're going to just go cover 4 quarters, same adjustments. We're going to go hard flats, use the backside safety, and put the safety on the bunch side into the inside third. So what's going to really happen here is something, they're probably going to run something like this, right? And, you know, you as the user are on a safety, so you can go ahead and help out on these streaks so that, you know, they're not really able to pass lead that open. Now, I will say that if they have an extremely fast receiver here and they were to do this, you guys can see, they might be able to lead it away from the safety kind of in the opening. So if you do notice that they're doing something like that, honestly, your best bet is to do the same adjustments. Only difference would be just go ahead and leave this safety over here into his quarter zone. Don't put him in a third, because the third will give them opportunity to sometimes pass lead that away from you. But if you just go ahead and leave him in the quarter, he's actually just going to get matched. And you guys can see there's no way that can get open. So that is something to be aware of. You know, that this guy, if they do run that combo to the left of the field, you might just want to leave him in the quarter zone. But I personally like putting him in the third when they're abusing PA boot over, because it definitely defends the post a lot better than the quarter will. If you don't third him against the post, the quarter is not really going to do much, to be honest with you. And then it's going to be pretty much your responsibility to help out on that, which is not really what we want, because we definitely need to guard the crosser ourselves too. So that's why it kind of depends upon what they're doing. If you guys see here, if like we went back to PA boot over and I was just to go ahead and just shade down and leave the safety in his quarter zone, you guys can see that I'm going to have a little bit more responsibilities with who I try to use her, because you guys can see I kind of have to kind of like guard almost both of them, because the crosser and the post, especially if they have, you know, speed and maybe some abilities for those routes, like they're getting matched, don't get me wrong. But I mean, you guys can see here, you know, he's not open here, but he is one-on-one. And if we had a slower corner, or maybe that receiver had an ability for the deep post, that could get open. And same thing over here, like, you know, he is a little bit more open than another guy. That's decent coverage, but that is something that I have to use her. So I can't really use her both of these guys at the same time, which, I mean, I can, but I'd have to bait them, which is why it's better to do the third adjustment if you're worried about that getting open. So this is a very, very, very solid defense to use against people who still want to spam PA boot over and try to run the ball. And, you know, whether they're trying to hit the crosser, the one-play touchdown setup for the post, the flats, the running back out of the backfield, doesn't really matter. This is going to do a great job of shutting this down. The only thing you do have to look out for is if they try to do that corner fade flat combo on the bunch side, which honestly is not something too many people utilize, but it still is something that I did want to make you guys aware of. So if you see them do that, you are going to want to be aware of to keep your safety in the quarter zone. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this tip. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, and I'll be back with some more great content soon.